Welcome back to Books and Bites. Today we'll be, diving into Letters from a Stoic by Seneca. So these letters are almost 2,000 years old, and they offer these insights into, Stoic philosophy and how to navigate life's complexities. And you might be wondering, how can writings from so long ago be relevant today?
Yeah, I mean, that's fascinating. 2,000 years is a long time.
Exactly. That's what we're here to explore.
So Seneca's letters, they were written to his friend Lucilius, and they might seem like a relic of the past, but the wisdom they contain, it really transcends time.
Right.
I mean, the core principles of Stoicism, things that Seneca outlines, like, virtue, reason, and living in harmony with nature, those resonate just as strongly in our modern world.
Yeah, exactly. So let's kind of delve a little deeper into how Seneca presents these Stoic principles. He refers to philosophy as medicine for the soul. What does he mean by that?
Well, Seneca saw philosophy not as some kind of abstract intellectual pursuit, but as a practical guide, for living a better life.
Mhm.
He believed that philosophical principles, like when you apply them to everyday challenges, they can help us to cultivate inner peace,
Okay.
resilience, and a sense of purpose.
So it's not just about thinking deeply, it's about actively using these ideas to improve our lives.
Yeah.
One of the key themes that kind of emerges from Seneca's letters is the importance of time. He famously said, "It is not that we have short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it."
Mm-hmm.
How does this idea connect to the broader philosophy of Stoicism?
Well, Stoics, they view time as a precious resource, one that shouldn't be squandered on trivial pursuits or anxieties.
Right.
And they believe that by focusing on the present moment, making mindful choices, and accepting what is beyond our control, we can maximize the time we have and live more fulfilling lives.
This emphasis on mindfulness and making the most of our time feels incredibly relevant,
Yeah,
in today's fast-paced world.
yeah, definitely.
But how does Stoicism address those challenges
Mm-hmm.
and setbacks that inevitably arise in life?
Well, Seneca, who, lived through considerable turmoil in Roman society,
Yeah.
he understood the inevitability of adversity, and he emphasizes this Stoic concept of indifference to things outside our control, not as a form of apathy, but as a way to manage our emotional responses.
Okay.
So by accepting what we cannot change and focusing on our own actions,
Right.
our own choices, we can navigate challenges with greater resilience and equanimity.
This idea of focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts and actions,
Mm-hmm.
it's powerful.
Yeah.
Seneca believed that difficulties, they're actually opportunities for growth. He shares an anecdote about, facing hardship as a chance to become stronger and wiser.
Okay, I see.
Is this what he meant by living in accordance with nature?
Yes, Stoics, they believe that living in accordance with nature means, aligning ourselves with the rational order of the universe,
Right.
which includes accepting the cyclical nature of life, the good and the bad. Difficulties are part of that natural order,
Mm-hmm.
and they provide opportunities to practice virtue, to strengthen our character, and to gain wisdom.
So it's not about avoiding challenges. It's about facing them with courage and using them as opportunity for personal growth. This ties in with another central concept in Stoicism, virtue as the path to happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on what Seneca meant by this?
Sure. Stoics, they believe that true happiness, or what they call eudaimonia,
Okay.
it's not derived from external circumstances, like wealth or pleasure, but from living a virtuous life. And Seneca, he outlines these key virtues, like wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance.
Right.
He stresses that developing these virtues is an ongoing process.
Mhm.
It requires self-reflection, discipline, and a commitment to living in accordance with reason.
So true happiness stems from aligning our actions with these virtues,
Yes.
regardless of external circumstances. It's about inner strength and moral compass, rather than chasing fleeting pleasures or possessions.
Yeah.
This raises a question about how Stoicism addresses the fear of death, a universal human experience.
Seneca encourages us to view death as a natural part of life, not something to be feared. He believed that contemplating our mortality helps us appreciate life more fully and live with purpose.
Interesting.
He even says, like, a good death is a peaceful one where, the wise person faces it calmly without, clinging to life.
It's fascinating how he reframes this seemingly morbid topic into a powerful reminder to live meaningfully. We've covered a lot of ground already, and I'm starting to feel like I need to reassess my own priorities.
Yeah, it's thought-provoking.
Before we move on,
Mm-hmm.
could you tell us a little more about why Seneca emphasizes simple living?
Sure. Seneca, he cautions against the dangers of materialism and the pursuit of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
He believed that true wealth lies in inner peace and self-sufficiency, not in material possessions.
Okay.
He even suggests periodically practicing voluntary discomfort.
Voluntary discomfort.
Yeah, like this might involve fasting,
Okay.
sleeping on the floor, or foregoing luxuries to cultivate gratitude and resilience.
Choosing to experience discomfort sounds counterintuitive, but I can see how it could help us appreciate what we have and build resilience to life's inevitable challenges.
Before we delve further into Seneca's wisdom, I'd like to revisit the idea of simple living. In a society that often equates happiness with material wealth,
Mm-hmm.
Seneca's perspective is both refreshing and challenging.
You're right. Seneca was a vocal critic of materialism, especially in the opulent Roman society he lived in.
Yeah.
He believed that the pursuit of wealth and luxury often leads to discontentment and anxiety. Could you expand on why he advocated for simple living and how it relates to Stoic principles?
Well, Seneca believed that true wealth resides in inner peace and self-sufficiency, not in the accumulation of possessions. So by simplifying our lives and detaching ourselves from material desires,
Right.
we can free ourselves from the anxieties and frustrations that come with constantly striving for more.
That makes sense.
This aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts and actions, rather than external circumstances.
So simple living isn't just about minimalism or frugality.
Right.
It's about cultivating a mindset of contentment and freedom from material attachments.
Exactly.
It allows us to focus on what truly matters: virtue, wisdom, and living a meaningful life. Seneca even recommends practicing voluntary discomfort, like fasting or sleeping on the floor. Why would he suggest something so seemingly unpleasant?
Well, Seneca believed that voluntarily experiencing discomfort strengthens our resilience
Okay.
and helps us appreciate what we have by
Okay.
temporarily depriving ourselves of comforts.
Right.
We gain a new perspective on our needs and desires.
I see.
We realize that we can endure hardships
Yeah.
and that true happiness doesn't depend on external luxuries. This practice also aligns with the Stoic idea of accepting what is beyond our control.
Okay.
By choosing to experience discomfort,
Right.
we prepare ourselves to face the inevitable challenges that life throws our way with greater equanimity.
It's like a mental and emotional training ground for navigating the ups and downs of life. This focus on inner strength and resilience seems to naturally extend to how Stoics approach relationships.
Right.
Seneca, for instance, placed great value on true friendship. What did he see as the hallmarks of a true friendship?
Seneca believed that true friendships are based on mutual growth and virtue.
Mm-hmm.
He emphasized the importance of having friends who challenge us to become better versions of ourselves, who offer honest advice, and who support our pursuit of wisdom and a virtuous life. He cautioned against surrounding ourselves with people who encourage vice or negativity,
I see.
as their influence can hinder our progress toward living a fulfilling life.
So true friendships are the more than just shared interests or pleasant company. They're about supporting each other's personal development and holding each other accountable to living a life aligned with our values.
Exactly.
This perspective on friendship seems incredibly relevant in today's world, where we are constantly bombarded with superficial connections and social media distractions.
You're absolutely right. Seneca's emphasis on quality over quantity in friendships is a powerful reminder to be discerning about who we allow into our inner circle.
That's a good point.
He suggests cultivating relationships with individuals who inspire us to grow, who embody the virtues we admire, help us stay true to our values.
This makes me think about how challenging it can be to apply Stoic principles in a world that often seems designed to distract us and pull us away from what truly matters.
Yeah.
Seneca's letters, however, provide a roadmap for navigating these challenges. He offers practical advice on managing our time dealing with adversity and cultivating meaningful relationships.
Indeed, Seneca's letters are a treasure trove of wisdom that can guide us toward living more fulfilling and meaningful lives.
It's amazing.
While the world has changed significantly since Seneca's time, the fundamental challenges of being human remain the same.
Right.
His insights into human nature, the pursuit of happiness, and the importance of living a virtuous life are timeless and universally applicable.
As we approach the end of our exploration, it's clear that Seneca's Letters from a Stoic offers a wealth of knowledge and inspiration.
Hmm.
But it can also feel a bit overwhelming to try to absorb and apply all of his teachings at once.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Where would you suggest someone begin if they're interested in incorporating Stoic principles into their own life?
I would recommend starting with self-reflection.
Okay?
Seneca emphasized the importance of examining our own thoughts, actions, and motivations.
So like looking inward.
Yeah, ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my values? Am I spending my time wisely? What areas of my life could benefit from a more stoic approach?
Those are great questions.
This introspective process can help you identify areas where you might want to make adjustments and start incorporating stoic practices into your daily life.
That's a great starting point. And remember, you don't have to become a full-fledged Stoic overnight.
Right.
Start with small, manageable steps.
Yeah.
Perhaps begin by incorporating a few minutes of mindfulness into your day, practicing gratitude, or focusing on what you can control in challenging situations.
Those are good ideas.
Even small changes can have a profound impact on your well-being and outlook on life.
Absolutely. Remember that Stoicism is a journey, not a destination. It's about continually striving to live a virtuous and meaningful life, even amidst the inevitable challenges and uncertainties that life throws our way. And who knows, you might just find that by embracing some of these ancient principles, you can navigate the complexities of modern life with greater clarity, resilience, and inner peace.
It's really amazing, how relevant these letters still are, even though they're written like centuries ago. So as we wrap up, I'd love to kind of highlight a few key takeaways maybe that our listeners can apply to their own lives.
Yeah, I mean, Seneca's letters, they really offer a wealth of wisdom, But if I had to, distill some key takeaways,
Okay.
I would say the first is the Stoic emphasis on virtue as the, foundation of true happiness.
Okay.
Seneca repeatedly stresses that lasting happiness, it doesn't come from external factors like wealth or status, but from cultivating virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance.
This idea of virtue as the path to happiness, it really resonates, especially in a world that, often prioritizes material success and external validation.
Right.
It's a good reminder that true fulfillment, it comes from aligning our actions with our values
Yeah.
and striving to be the best versions of ourselves. Another takeaway that really struck me was Seneca's emphasis on the importance of time. He urges us to be mindful of how we spend this precious resource
Absolutely.
and to avoid wasting it on, trivial pursuits.
Seneca really viewed time as our most valuable asset, something that should never be squandered. He encourages us to, focus on the present moment, make mindful choices, and detach ourselves from distractions that pull us away from what truly matters.
This message feels even more urgent in our modern world,
Right.
where we're constantly bombarded with, information and demands on our attention.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a call to, reclaim our time and use it intentionally to pursue activities that align with our values
Yeah.
and contribute to our overall well-being. And finally, I think Seneca's perspective on adversity, it offers a powerful framework for kind of navigating life's inevitable challenges.
Yeah.
He encourages us to view difficulties not as setbacks,
Right.
but as opportunities for growth and learning.
Seneca believed that challenges are an inherent part of life, and that facing them with courage and resilience, is essential for personal growth. He reminds us that we can't control external circumstances, but we can control our reactions to them.
Right.
And so by embracing challenges as opportunities, to practice virtue and strengthen our character, we can emerge from those difficult times stronger and wiser.
So instead of fearing or avoiding adversity, we can choose to see it as, a chance to practice our Stoic principles
Yeah.
and become more resilient individuals. As we conclude our deep dive into Seneca's Letters from a Stoic, I'm left with this sense of awe at the enduring power of his wisdom. Is there a final thought-provoking question from Seneca that we could leave our listeners with?
How about this one? What area of your life could benefit from a more stoic approach? It's a simple question, but it invites us to to reflect on our habits, our priorities, and our reactions to the world around us.
Yeah.
It encourages us to consider how we might incorporate Stoic principles into our daily lives,
Hmm.
to cultivate greater resilience, wisdom, and inner peace.
That's a perfect question to leave our listeners pondering. And if you're inspired to delve deeper into Seneca's brilliant mind, don't forget to grab a copy of Letters from a Stoic using the link in our episode description. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.